What up, everyone? I guess this is a vlog today. If you don't notice, my voice is kind of bad because right now my nose is stuffed up to high hell. Very bad for me. As you can see, I'm also downloading the Pop Ghost Creator Pack, which contains a lot of content from the game, which, well, that's kind of what the subject of today is. You're going to see it in the video title. What about theories? If you came here for my funny, you would know that I did a lot of theories over a lot of games. Layers of Fear, Five Nights at Freddy's. I was going to do one on Fallout 4, but I never really did. It was about feral ghouls. It was really cool. But I did a lot of theories, and people liked them. So people are like, "Hey, are you gonna do one on YouTube?" And I'm like, maybe. I would say yeah, I probably am. So today we're going to talk about one theory, and this one has sparked a lot of controversy over the Five Nights at Freddy's community. We're going to be talking about, of course, the dream theory. Now, this one has kind of been split down the middle by people saying it's probably a dream because there's a lot of evidence, and it's probably not a dream, which I can say is, there's points to both, but I'm going to say I'm leaning a little bit towards the more dream theory. Why exactly? Well, there is a lot of evidence to it. I'm on Microsoft Edge because it would only let me download the creator pack here, so I'm sorry if it's a little different. So let's see, we have to look up Five Nights at Freddy's World teasers. Here we go. So we don't run into any bad fiction, like bad fan art or something. What was up there? Oh no. Yeah. Uh-oh, I got a message from Skype. 1 second. It was Jerry Adventures Skyping me. Gotta do something with him. Okay, so these are the regular ones, but we're looking specifically for... Where are they? Oh, I remember that. Why was his jaw removed anyway? So we're looking instead for... Oh, that was creepy. Let's see. Oh, I know how to find it. Shit. Let's see if we can find these. What is seen in the shadows is easily misunderstood in the mind of a child. Now, what does that mean specifically? Well, it's kind of obvious, isn't it? They're talking about the shadow animatronics and the animatronics themselves. During Five Nights at Freddy's 4, when the kid is walking in the Night 2 minigame, Night 2, he sees on the wall purple shadows of the Fredbear and Spring Bonnie on the stage, which also correlates to Purple Guy. I'll talk about that another time. Probably gonna make this like an hour long. I don't know, but I don't have to explain the points to it. And he sees them, and this makes him frightened. So that could explain why we see a Shadow Freddy and a Shadow Bonnie. Shadow Freddy obviously has a Golden Freddy / Fredbear shape, and the Shadow Bonnie has two parts in his body, unlike Toy Bonnie. So that's kind of a weird thing. But again, if we're looking into it, it could be like that. And we could misunderstand the animatronics, because if it is the dream theory, only Fredbears existed. And that means that only Fredbear and Spring Bonnie came around. That could also be about how, in the shadows, could be about how the brother and his friends waited around, scaring the child by hiding around. Like the hide-and-seek theory. That's another one, but that correlates to that, too. So that one's already pretty much solved. Let's see, which one else? Two games with story, was Toy Chica Beak. Let's see. We're gonna run into some bad fan. Oh, no. Here's one. Okay then, so we have... I think there was another one, but whatever. In the Five Nights at Freddy's 4 minigame, why would the tiny Toy Chica be missing her beak? That's actually kind of obvious, isn't it? If you look into it, that would influence the kid to think of her as without her beak, right? And I actually have a little reference to this in... Sorry for that. I'm so sorry for that.
We're not monsters, just change. Bigger hands for grabbing. We're not monsters, just change. Bigger hands for grabbing a hold. We were
Here it is. So, as you can see here, I have a little reference to all three animatronics from Five Nights at Freddy's 2, aside from Mangle and Balloon Boy and JJ. Toy Freddy right here has his black eyes because in the game it obviously has black eyes for some reason. So Toy Bonnie has small pupils, and then Toy Chica is missing her eyes and beak, which could be that they were removable, you know, like accessories, blah blah blah. Which is a pretty poor choice on Fredbear / Fazbear Entertainment because I mean, small choking parts. Then again, they have employees in spring suits. Yeah. So that's kind of what I'm thinking of. Let's see. And 4 games, 1 story. While this is kind of, you know, it could just be the regular one, you know, they're all connected. It kind of is like this. The kid is in a coma the entire time, just thinking of the games, because there are a lot of combinations. So, let's look into this. Plush Trap. So, this was a major part of the theory for me. This is one that I really did think of, and I don't think anyone's made the connection yet, which is pretty amazing, because it's like feeling whenever I did think of the lore, and God, it just it makes me so happy. So, as we can see, Plush Trap in the in here, if we look up, Five Nights at Freddy's 4 minigame night 3 Plush Trap. There we go. Let's look that up. Should be in images. Let's see. That might be Charlie. They're talking about that, but I don't really believe that. Shrek is love, Shrek is life. That is indeed true. I'll say that. That's a pretty good drawing. Oh, yes. Oh, that's from Gold 94 Chica. Never mind. Hey, that might be Baby. That's probably Baby. That's another point, by the way. IP drip. Ah, that would have been a very good theory right there. I'll say that. That's a byte of 87. Don't say it's 83, or I'll cut you. Damn, it's just taking us so long to find it, isn't it? Well, okay, I won't go to the exact page, but this is a girl that has the Plush Trap, which influences it to be in Five Nights at Freddy's 4. She says, "Where's your plush toy? Mine is Spring Bonnie." And Spring Bunny, if you look on here, is actually a real type of rabbit. Spring Bunny. It's a real type of rabbit. See? Oh, that's something else. The mechanics are so fluid. Oh. Yes, baby. Sorry. Okay, so she says, "Daddy says I better be careful, else you'll snap my fingers." So, whoa, what the fuck? Oh no, what's he talking? I made him download Pop Goes. I'm sorry. He seems to be enjoying it so far. That's good. I might have a lore video on that. So the girl explains about how it's a kind of finger trap, right? Black rabbit. Okay, anyway. So that would kind of mean that Plush Trap is kind of like a Chinese finger trap. Which means that you would put your hand somewhere and it would probably trap you if you didn't move it right. Why does that sound familiar? That also attributes to this thing. I'll explain that in a second. But what sounds like as if you moved wrong, it would stick you in there for a while? Give you a hint. Have I explained my case enough? Plush Trap influenced the Spring Trap animatronic. By Plush Trap being kind of like a Chinese finger trap, getting his finger stuck, that influenced the child to think of Spring Trap, which traps its victims. There were never any spring lock incidents inside of the suits in the real place, because of one thing. Bryce the Bear on Steam actually made me think of this. Now, as we know, the suits at Fredbear's were spring suits, and that's a fact. But the two on the stage might not have ever been taken off, because they never moved around. The ones in the back did. The temporary suits. Oh, hearing me say this is just so good. Oh, resume, please. Couldn't be downloaded, you fucking... Ugh, whatever, I'll do it another time. Made me sad. But, anyway. So, that means there were more than one. And... Damn, I just lost my point there. but there wasn't any evidence of a Springlock incident in there. And I know you're gonna say, but sis, the Springlock incident with the bite of blah blah blah. He cried on it. No, he didn't. The suit was in suit mode. MatPat's claim on that was pretty bad. Okay, it was in suit mode. Even if you can go back because they're already back. So stop that. Get some help. But so Plushtrap influenced Springtrap and the Purple Guy incident. Also, the little 3 points. I know that Absenta Tangent thinks that means that there was a different Spring Bonnie, you know, with 3 air joints, and the model was amazing. Okay, I'll say that, but that's incorrect. I'm sorry to say. What reminds you of these? And this. Simple. This is what they're doing. If you attribute everything being caused by the children and the men and the suits in Five Nights at Freddy's 4, that means that this is what influenced him to think of the rabbit ears. You would put your fingers up in Plushtrap's head, and you would bend your fingers like that, and that was basically what the finger trap was. If you moved them incorrectly, your fingers would get stuck, you know, in the ears. And then they probably made fun of him with the Bonnie Mask kid getting ears behind him, blah blah blah, or maybe that didn't happen, whatever, but Plushtrap caused that. So, I'm sorry, Absenta Tangent, but I just don't believe in your theory, I'm sorry. I mean, they have different sprites, I'll say that, but I think it was more of a reference, because the one in the part in the surface looks like a toy Bonnie, and, you know, the whole Shadow Bonnie thing. So that's another claim there. What's another one? God. What's another one? We might as well disprove the Golden Freddy isn't Fredbear thing too. So let's look up a Fredbear. Five Nights at Freddy's World. Now I know you're gonna say that Five Nights at Freddy's World isn't canon, and it isn't, but it still does have canon designs. See, Fredbear, Nightmare Fredbear, looks like how he does in the game, right? So why doesn't this one? Simple. Fredbear is Golden Freddy. Every single version of Freddy shares the same model except for the Nightmares, because, you know, they look different. The unwithered Nightmares don't look like the unwithered animatronics, you know, the ones from Five Nights at Freddy's 2. They look totally different. But that would also mean that Fredbear does not look like how he does. This is what Fredbear looked like. A golden version of Freddy with a purple tie, purple hat with a black stripe, and purple buttons. Now, what could be the same thing, you ask? Well, that's pretty simple. I'll say that, my kind sir. Golden Freddy. Exact same model, just different colors. Now you're also going to say Golden Freddy had a black tie and also a brown tie. But let's show you this. Spring Bonnie, Five Nights at Freddy's 3 posters. Oh, I did that wrong. Now if we go through here, this poster would get replaced by one of these. It would happen on Cam 10 and Cam 2. Now what's the strangest thing about this? Spring Bonnie has a black tie, but if we go to World, look what happens. It changes to purple. So what does that mean to my theory? I believe that, of course, Scott changed the models. I think it's just retcon. Retcon happens everywhere. Star Wars, Batman, everything. It happens everywhere, okay? Probably Scott didn't even want to introduce the Spring Bonnie in the series until it blew up, you know? So, it doesn't matter. This is black tie and black button in the game. It's this. It's a purple. So, if we're gonna attribute it to that, then that also means that Golden Freddy had the purple tie. And if you want to get, like, realistic, you can just say that they changed color through the years because Golden Freddy and Spring Bonnie weren't in the light for a while, so they probably turned dark because of colors, like how he turned green instead of yellow. You really gotta look at real facts there, dude. You got to. Oh, that makes me sad. Anyway, so you really can't use that point to your advantage there. Roar XD. God, I want that. I want that so much. I wish that was a real model. What other claims can I make here? I guess I can't really make one, can I? I guess maybe we could solve the purple guy. Yeah, we're gonna solve the purple guy here. So if you don't know, purple guy was a murderer, and the pink guy thing is definitely not right because that's just a stupid theory. Why would there be two murderers when he only appears in one game and then they don't have it in the same game? There is no pink guy. Okay, it's only one guy. Anyway, so let's go into this. So if we look at purple guy's sprite, we already know that he is, of course, purple. No, it's gonna bring up Vincent. No. Mini games. There we go. Vincent is non-canon. Okay. Okay. So as we can see here, purple guy has a multitude of sprites. The most famous one, the pink guy one, but you know, pink guy is purple guy. Him and Spring Bonnie. There's a fan-made one of what he would look like. Shoulder, right? The one from Five Nights at Freddy's 3, and then, ew, that's not regular purple guy, that's Vincent, okay, stop it, stop trying to make that live. No, I used to love those comments, I used to love those comics. And then, where's the one in Five Nights at Freddy's 4? So, let's look up Five Nights at Freddy's 4, and we can see him in Fredbear's Family Diner. So, what does this mean? As we can see, he is in a dark space right now. And like the Fredbear and Spring Bonnie on the stage, this probably means that this version, or purple guy in the real world, was just a shadow to the kid. Because look at this. We only ever see him in one appearance in the most important game of the series. This is Five Nights at Freddy's 4. Purple had to appear a lot, didn't he? He didn't. He only made one appearance, and it was an Easter egg that not that many found. So, what could this be about? The kid never saw him that much. All he knew was that he was in a dark room all the time, possibly handling the suits. He may have been the maker of the suits, since, you know, the Afton Robotics, and in the novel, which is an AU, an alternate universe. I read the novel. I liked it. He is kind of like the co-owner of the diner and the 82 location. It was the 92/93 location, but 82. We'll get into that another time. So he only saw him in the shadows, handling the suits and helping people. But he was mysterious to him. He was scary to him because, you know, he just handled with the suits something that was so dangerous. You can't deal with that, man. But that's all he saw of him. That's it. And he saw his golden badge, which possibly meant that maybe he was with the animatronics all the time. Maybe he was related to them, you know? Like that's just a bunch of evidence. So Purple Guy was never a murderer. In the dream theory, he was just a regular guy who was seen in the shadows by a kid. What is easily seen in the shadows that is misunderstood by a kid? I'm one eye. I'm showing you a lot of stuff. Also, see, that's evidence to Fredbear not existing. It's Fredbear, just golden Fredbear. Blah blah blah. So, I guess that's about it that I can prove right now that I can think of it at this moment. So, I hope you enjoyed the video, and please leave a like and subscribe maybe if you want. Leave a comment telling me to kill myself. I don't really care. I mean, it's just a comment. All around me are familiar faces, but just do whatever you want, man. And I will see you in the next video. Bye now.